Subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts. The locker room incident. The sound of fabric ripping echoed down the hallway like a gunshot. Maya froze. Her fingers trembled as she reached behind her back, trying to hold together the torn edges of her shirt. But it was no use. The thin cotton blouse she wore, already faded and worn, now hung in two jagged pieces, exposing her brown skin and her black sports bra underneath. Behind her, laughter burst out like firecrackers. "Oh my God," one of the girls snorted. "Did you see her face? Yo, someone get a video of this." Maya didn't turn around. She stood motionless in front of her locker, staring at the dented metal door like it could somehow swallow her whole. Her eyes blinked hard. Once, twice. She gripped her textbooks tighter, holding them against her chest, her heart pounding so hard it felt like it might break through her ribs. Then came the voice. Smooth. Mocking. Cold. "You should be thanking us, really. That shirt was tragic." Shayla. Bennett, her tall, perfect skin, long lashes and an evil smile to match. She stood just a few steps behind Maya, fingers still raised from the stunt she'd just pulled, grabbing Maya's shirt and yanking it with one clean jerk while her friends egged her on. Beside her, Janelle and Amina were laughing so hard they were doubled over. Ruthie pulled out her phone and started filming. "This is what happens when weirdos think they can just walk around like they belong," Shayla sneered. "New school, same rules, freak." Maya didn't respond. Not yet. Her face was hot with humiliation, not just from the torn shirt, not just from the phones, but from the silence around her. Dozens of students in the hallway, some staring, some whispering, but not one person standing up for her. Again. She thought she'd escaped this when she transferred. She thought maybe, just maybe, a new school would be a chance to start over, to disappear into the background. But somehow, bullies could smell weakness the way wolves smell blood. Shayla leaned in closer, her voice low. "You got a problem, shirt girl?" Still, Maya didn't answer. Her body was shaking, not from fear, not from shame, from something else. Something that had been buried so deep for so long, it barely had a name. But today, it rose. Slowly, Maya turned. Her books hit the floor with a soft thud. She stared Shayla straight in the eye. The hallway fell into a stunned silence as Maya took one step forward. "Apologize," she said, her voice calm. "Now." Shayla blinked. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Maya said, her shoulders squared. "Pick up the piece you ripped and apologize." There was a half-second of silence. Then Janelle cackled. "Yo, this girl thinks she's in a movie or something." Amina was still filming. Shayla smirked. "Or what? You gonna cry?" That's when it happened. In one breath, Maya shifted her weight, turned her body, and grabbed Shayla's arm with precise control. A twist, a pivot, and Shayla's feet were off the ground. Her body flipped in the air and hit the floor hard, flat on her back with a loud thud that rang across the hallway. Gasps exploded. Ruthie's phone slipped from her hand. Even the hallway monitors, who were always conveniently missing during these attacks, stood frozen. Shayla let out a strangled groan from the floor, holding her ribs. Maya didn't gloat. She didn't raise her voice. She simply stood over her and said, "I'm done being your target." Then she picked up her books, tightened the torn shirt as best she could around her body, and walked away. Silence followed her. And this time, no one laughed. That afternoon, in the girls' bathroom, Maya stared at her reflection in the cracked mirror. Her shirt was useless. She had changed into her gym hoodie, but the memory still clung to her skin like sweat. Her hands ran over the strands of her long black hair, nervously tucking and untucking them behind her ears. There was no pride in what she did, only relief. But underneath that relief, something darker stirred, something ancient and sharp. Not everyone had seen what happened, but enough had. Word spread fast. Videos, whispers, fake concern. Everyone wanted to know Who was Maya? Where did she learn to fight like that? Why did she snap? She turned off the faucet and dried her hands. Her phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. That flip was wild. "Are you okay? I'm in your bio." Glass. "Don't let them get to you." A few seconds later, another. "You shouldn't walk home alone today. Someone's planning something," and then one more. "Behind the gym. After school. You need to know what Shayla's hiding." Maya's eyes narrowed. She didn't reply, but she didn't delete the messages either. Later, behind the gym, Maya waited. The sun was low. The grass shimmered orange. The place was empty, quiet, except for the rustling of dry leaves in the wind. She didn't like being told what to do, but the last message stuck in her mind like a splinter. She paced once, twice, then stopped. Footsteps. A shadow appeared from behind the dumpsters. A girl. Not Shayla. Someone else. Maya's eyes narrowed. "Lena?" she asked. The girl stepped into the light, looking nervous. She was slim, pale-skinned, freckles under her eyes, and a long scratch across her left cheek. Maya recognized her from the library club. Quiet, always reading. Never spoke much. Barely. Noticeable. I saw what happened," Lena said. "You sent the messages?" Lena nodded. "Yeah. I used a fake number. I wasn't sure you'd come." "Why?" Maya asked, crossing her arms. "Because I used to be you," Lena said quietly. "Last semester. Shayla did the same thing to me, tore my dress during rehearsal, spread rumors that I had a crush on one of the teachers, made fake accounts. She stopped, biting her lip hard. "I transferred schools for a while," she continued, "but came back this semester because my dad lost his job and we had to move again." Maya didn't speak. "She does this to girls who don't fight back," Lena said. "But if they do, she panics. That flip you did, she didn't expect that. You shook her." Maya finally spoke. "What does she want from me?" Lena looked up, her voice dropping. "She's hiding something. Something big. That's why she targets new girls, anyone who might get too close. You're not the first, but if you're smart, you'll be the last." Maya's heart began to thump harder. "What is she hiding?" Lena looked around nervously, then handed Maya a folded photo. Maya opened it. It was old, grainy. A group of girls in uniforms, standing outside a school building. Shayla was in the middle, but her arm was around a girl Maya didn't recognize. Dark-skinned, small frame, familiar sad eyes. Lena whispered. Her name was Tamira. She disappeared 2 years ago. No one talks about it. Maya looked up sharply. "Disappeared," Lena nodded. "And Shayla was the last person seen with her." That night Maya couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, the photo resting on her chest. Her mind raced. Why was Lena helping her? Who was Tamira? What did Shayla have to do with her disappearance? And why did it feel like Maya was being pulled into something far more dangerous than a school fight? At 3:13 a.m., her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. "You should have stayed." "Quiet, Maya. You're next." Maya sat up in bed, every hair on her body standing on end, and far down the street, just outside her window, a black car sat parked. Lights off, engine running. The photo of the missing girl, the car was still there. Maya peeked again through the edge of her curtain. Same car, same place, engine quietly humming, no headlights, no driver visible. It had been sitting there since just after 3 a.m. And now it was almost 6. Maya hadn't slept. The message, "You should have stayed quiet, you're next," played in her mind like a broken alarm. Her fingers still gripped the photo Lena gave her, the one with Shayla smiling beside a girl named Tamira, the girl who, according to Lena, had disappeared 2 years ago. She slid out of bed, pulling on a hoodie. Her legs were shaky, her thoughts tangled. This wasn't about some petty hallway bullying anymore. Something else was going on. Something serious, dangerous. Her instincts screamed at her to tell someone, but who? The school counselor? They barely listened when she reported Shayla last week for shoving her. The police, over a photo and a creepy car. No, not yet. She needed more. She grabbed her backpack, carefully slid the photo inside, and texted Lena. "The e-car is still outside. I think someone is watching me," Lena replied instantly. "Don't come to school through the front. Meet me at the side gate near the music wing. Alone." At school, Maya entered through the back gate as Lena instructed. Her eyes darted over her shoulder every few seconds. The car hadn't followed her, or at least she didn't see it. The music wing was almost empty in the morning. Lena stood near, a rusted metal bench, arms crossed, eyes shadowed by the hood of her jacket. "I told you they'd come for you," Lena said. "Who?" Maya asked, breathless. "You keep saying they. Who is they?" Lena pulled something from her coat pocket and handed it to her. A tiny, black USB drive. "What's this?" Maya asked. Lena didn't answer immediately. She looked around first, checking every hallway and corner like she was being watched. Then she said, "Tamira didn't just disappear. She was silenced. She was about to expose something about Shayla, but she vanished before she could." Maya stared. "You're saying Shayla made her disappear?" Lena's voice was barely above a whisper. "Not just Shayla. Her mom, her uncle. They're connected to people in this town, cops, teachers, even the school board. That's how she gets away with everything. Her family hides the dirt." Maya looked down at the USB. "What's on it?" "I copied Shayla's private group chats from an old friend's phone," Lena said. "Stuff she said about Tamira. Stuff that didn't make sense at first, but after yesterday, everything clicked." Maya tucked the USB deep into her bag. Her head spun. "Why didn't you give this to someone already?" Lena hesitated. "I tried, but the counselor said it was fake, and the next day my locker was trashed. All my college recommendation letters gone. Principal said it was an accident. That's when I stopped fighting." Maya felt a chill crawl down her arms. "They'll try to scare you," Lena said, "like they scared me. But if you stay strong, we can finish what Tamira started." In chemistry class, Maya sat in the back, eyes on the board, heart pounding in her chest. Shayla walked in 5 minutes late, designer bag over her shoulder, face flawless as always. She didn't even look at Maya, just walked past her like yesterday. It had never happened, but Maya noticed something, a bruise, faint but real, just under Shayla's collarbone, covered with makeup. Maya knew because she did the same thing once after her foster mom hit her with a belt for talking back. The bruise gave her no joy, but it told her one thing: Shayla wasn't invincible. Halfway through the lesson, a folded note slid onto her desk. Not a text, a physical note, handwritten. She unfolded it under her desk. "You've made a mistake. That flip? Cute. But you don't know what you've stepped into. You'll regret it." Maya glanced up. Shayla was chewing gum, smiling as she copied notes from the board, like she hadn't written a death threat in pencil. Maya didn't react. She just slid the note into her pocket and calmly looked ahead. But inside, her blood boiled. Lunch break. Unlikely allies, Maya didn't go to the cafeteria. She slipped outside and made her way toward the library exit. As she stepped around the corner, someone pulled her aside. It wasn't Lena. It was Devon, tall, dark curls, quiet, one of the top students. In the senior year. Also, Shayla's ex-boyfriend from last fall. "I heard what happened," he said quickly. "Shayla's been running her mouth." "I can handle her," Maya said. Devon's eyes flickered. "Maybe. But she's not your real problem." "What do you mean?" Devon checked his phone, then looked back at her. "Tamira was my cousin." Maya's breath caught. "She told me things," he continued, "about Shayla, about stuff she saw, texts, videos, files on a hard drive Shayla begged her to delete. Tamira never said exactly what was in them. She just said, 'If something happens to me, don't trust anyone who smiles too much.'" "What happened to her?" Maya asked. "No one knows," Devon said. "She disappeared on a Friday. Skipped last period. They found her phone near the train tracks 3 days later. Broken, no SIM. They said she ran away. But you don't believe that? Not for a second. Devon looked her in the eye. Whatever Tamira found, it scared people. And if you're digging into the same mess, Maya, you'd better be ready to finish what she couldn't. After school. The USB Maya raced home as soon as the final bell rang. No delays. No distractions. The black car was gone when she reached her street, but now she noticed something worse. Her front door was slightly open. She froze. Her foster mum, Mrs. Callahan, always locked it, paranoid, even in the safest neighborhoods. Maya stepped inside slowly. Mom. Silence. The living room looked untouched, the kitchen too, but when she reached her bedroom, her chest tightened, drawers open, closet half emptied, her school bag turned inside out on the floor. Gone the USB. No, she whispered, hands trembling. She dropped to her knees and searched everything, under the bed, behind the desk, under her pillow. Gone. Whoever had broken in. They weren't looking for money. They came for that one thing, the proof. She sat on the floor, shaking, trying to hold in the scream building in her throat. Then she saw it, a single sticky note on her mirror, written in neat, pretty handwriting. Nice. Try, Maya. Next time I won't knock. Her stomach twisted. That night burned the fear. By midnight, Maya had made up her mind. She couldn't be afraid anymore. They were trying to make her run, to shut up, to vanish like Tamira. But this time, someone would fight back. She sat at her desk and opened her backup phone, a copy of the USB contents. She had uploaded them the night before to her private Google Drive, just in case. She clicked the folder, and what she saw took her breath away. Screenshots of Shayla bragging about getting rid of the library girl, messages between Shayla and someone saved as Uncle C talking about handling Tamira. One photo, Tamira at a party, looking scared, standing between Shayla and a police officer. Maya's fingers hovered over her keyboard. She wasn't ready to go public. Not yet, but she could feel the power shifting. For the first time they were scared, and she was just getting started. The party that changed everything. Midnight plans, dangerous memories. Maya couldn't sleep. She stared at the glowing screen, fingers trembling over her keyboard. Every file she opened from the secret folder exposed something uglier than the last. The chats between Shayla and Uncle C felt like poison. Shayla, she found the photos. I told you she's a problem. Uncle C, handled. She won't be. Showing up Monday. Shayla, good. I'll say she ran away again like before. Worked last time. Handled. That single word echoed in Maya's ears like a gunshot. They didn't just bully Tamira, they erased her. She scrolled down and stopped at a photo dated just 3 days before Tamira went missing. A house party. Shayla in a gold dress. Tamira off to the side looking anxious. And between them, a tall, older man with a hand on Shayla's shoulder. The same man Maya had seen once during school orientation, shaking hands with the principal. Police uniform. Gold badge. Uncle C, Maya whispered. She clicked the file name, IMG 9447, Uncle Charles, JPG. Her stomach dropped. A real cop. And he wasn't just related to Shayla, he was part of this. Lena's warning the next morning. Maya met Lena in the abandoned gym storage room, far from hallway cameras and teacher ears. Maya handed her the backup copy of the files. I uploaded everything. If anything happens to me, send it to the media, everyone. Lena looked at her like she was seeing Maya for the first time. You're serious about this? Maya nodded. I'm not dying silent like Tamira. But Lena's face darkened. You don't understand, Maya. You're pushing against people who don't lose. Shayla's mother is the assistant DA. Her uncle's in law enforcement. Her godfather sits on the school board. You think justice is going to walk in the front door? I don't care, Maya said. I'm kicking the damn door down. Clue from Devon after school. Devon met her behind the football bleachers. He looked exhausted, his shirt stained with engine grease. I asked around, he said. Some guys remember that party in the photo. Tamira didn't even want to go. Shayla pressured her. Why? Maya asked. She said it was a peace party. Said they'd bury the drama. Maya frowned. That sounds fake. It was, Devon replied. Tamira told me after the party that something happened there. Something bad. She didn't say what, but she was shaking. Did she mention Uncle Charles? Devon nodded, slowly. She said Shayla's family let things happen, and if she talked, they'd ruin her. Maya felt ice crawl through her body. We need to know what happened that night. Devon looked hesitant. There's one way. What? He pulled out his phone. That house is listed under a fake name, but the security footage from across the street. I know someone who can access traffic cams. You're serious? Devon gave a grim smile. We're all in now. The first strike. Maya didn't wait. That night, she opened an anonymous Instagram account and uploaded the photo from the party, blurring Tamira's face but circling Shayla and Uncle Charles. She added a simple caption. What happened at this party? Justice for Tamira. Chatisha, she didn't run away. She posted it at 11:49 p.m. By 7 a.m., it had 2,000 shares. By lunch, the rumors were everywhere. Girls whispering, teachers staring. Shayla's perfect. Mask cracked for the first time. Maya passed her in the hallway. Their eyes met. No words, no insults. Just a silent war declared between them. But by last period, Maya was pulled out of class. Principal's office, the student assistant said. The principal's office. Maya sat across from Principal Garner. Next to him was a woman with cold eyes, a sharp blazer and a name tag, Mrs. Cassandra Green, Assistant District Attorney, Shayla's mother. Miss Morgan, she said, you've made a very serious accusation. Posting doctored photos of a minor and a law enforcement officer can lead to legal consequences. Maya stayed calm. It's not doctored. And the minor has been torturing people for years, Garner interrupted. This is not the way to handle conflicts, Maya. I agree, she replied. Covering up abuse and silencing victims isn't either. Mrs. Green leaned forward. Watch your mouth. You think this little stunt will make you a hero? We will find the source of that post. And when we do... You'll do what? Maya asked. Make me disappear like Tamira. The silence that followed felt like thunder. Mrs. Green's expression didn't change, but her fingers curled tightly around her purse. Principal Garner shifted uncomfortably. Maya, you may go home for the day. We'll follow up tomorrow. A new message. That night, Maya found something slipped through her window. A photo. Her. Walking home yesterday. A red circle drawn around her head. No note. Just a warning. She called. Lena. They're watching my house again. Lena's voice cracked. You need to go somewhere safe. I don't have family here, Maya whispered. Not real ones. You do now, Lena replied. Come over, bring the drive. Lena's basement. Lena's house smelled like lavender and old books. Her mom, a nurse on night shifts, was already gone. They sat in the basement, laptops open, pizza untouched. We found something, Devon said. He'd come too, now fully part of their alliance. He slid a flash drive into Maya's laptop and opened a video. Security footage, the front of the party house. Timestamp, Friday, 10:56 p.m. Tamira stepped outside, barefoot, crying, holding her phone. Shayla followed her, screaming something. Then a man, tall, bald, uniform visible even in the grainy image. He grabbed Tamira's arm. She tried to pull away. Then the screen glitched, camera interference, but a second later, Tamira was gone. Out of frame. No one saw her leave. Maya's breath hitched. They took her. Look closer, Devon said. He zoomed in on Shayla, smiling, dead in the camera. A plan forms. Tomorrow, Maya said, I post the full video, the truth, the faces. Lena looked nervous. Once it's out, they'll panic. Good, Maya said. Let them. But Devon shook his head. Let's go bigger, leak it to the press, force them to respond publicly, get ahead of the spin. And Shayla? Maya asked. Lena spoke up, her voice hard. She needs to feel what Tamira felt, the fear, the shame, the helplessness. A long pause. Then Maya whispered, let's break her. The trap. The next day Maya did something bold. She approached Shayla. At her locker, same spot where her shirt was ripped just days ago, but this time she smiled. I forgive you, Maya said softly. Shayla blinked, confused. What? You were hurting, and hurt people, right? Shayla narrowed her eyes. What are you doing? Just letting go, Maya said, voice sweet. Besides, we all have secrets, but some of mine could ruin your life. Shayla's mask dropped. You're bluffing. Maybe, Maya said, walking away. Or maybe I'm already talking to reporters. Ask your uncle. That one hit. Shayla's hands curled into fists, but she said nothing. Not yet. The cliffhanger. That night, Maya's post went viral. The full party footage. Tamira, Shayla, Uncle Charles, shared by an anonymous account, backed up in dozens of places. Comments exploded. This girl didn't run away. She was taken. That cop needs to be investigated. Shayla should be expelled, arrested even. But the post wasn't Maya's. It was Devon's, which meant Maya froze as she opened her phone. A new message from an unknown number. We know who posted it. You're not the only one we're watching. Devon should have kept his mouth shut. The next morning, Devon didn't show up for school. His phone went dead. His house, empty, vanished, without a trace gone. Devon didn't answer his phone. Maya called again. Voicemail again. Texted. Nothing. She even checked his social media. No posts since last night. Her heart pounded. At 3:47 a.m., they had uploaded the party footage through Devon's old gaming account, coded, discreet. He had promised to delete the source files, but if they tracked him... Come on, she whispered. Please be okay. She called Lena. No answer. A tight knot twisted in her stomach. Something was wrong. Not missing. Taken by morning, Maya stood outside Devon's house with her hoodie up. The curtains were closed. Mail overflowing the box, his car in the driveway, keys missing, no lights on. She walked around to the side yard. There, through the basement window, she saw shattered glass and a boot print on the inside sill. Someone broke in. She grabbed her phone and snapped pictures. Before she could even call Lena, a black SUV rolled slowly down the street and parked near the corner. Tinted windows. She turned away, walking fast, pretending not to notice. But she knew. They were watching. Lena's. Panic at school. Lena yanked her into the girls' bathroom. You saw the SUV too, she whispered. Maya nodded. Devon's gone, house broken into, no one's talking. Lena was shaking. This isn't just bullying anymore. This is criminal, and they're dangerous. If they can get to him, they can get to us. We need help, Maya said. From who? Lena snapped. The principal. He's part of this, the cops. Shayla's uncle is one, and her mom is threatening you with jail. Maya stared at the mirror. Her reflection didn't look scared, it looked angry. Then we burned them ourselves. The confession. Later that day, something unexpected happened. A girl Maya barely knew, Samira, one of Shayla's former friends, approached her in the library. I need to talk to you, she said, eyes darting nervously. They sat behind the bookshelves. Out of view. I saw the video, Samira whispered, and the comments. I didn't know it would go that far. What do you mean? Maya asked sharply. I was at the party, Samira said, voice cracking. That night, Tamira came to me crying. She said Shayla made her drink something, said her head felt fuzzy. She said someone touched her. Maya froze. Samira nodded slowly. Uncle Charles came downstairs after. His badge was in his pocket. Tears filled her eyes. Tamira wanted to report it, but Shayla said she had videos of her, said she'd make her look like a drunk liar, said her mom would believe her, not some foster kid. Maya whispered, Do you know what happened to her? No, Samira said, but I know this. She was scared of Shayla and Uncle Charles. Will you repeat this on video? Maya asked. Samira paused, then nodded. Yes. The setup that night in Lena's basement, Maya uploaded Samira's video anonymously. It was blurry, raw, and shaky, but real. This time the caption was bolder. Tamira was drugged. Tamira was silenced by people with power. Why is no one in jail? The post hit 50K views in 3 hours. Hashtags exploded. Justice for Tamira. Just Shayla knew. Where is Devon? But then something strange happened. The school Wi-Fi blocked the video links. Lena stared at the message on her laptop. They're cutting the signals. They're scared, Maya said. And dangerous, Lena added. That's when Maya remembered something. Tamira's last message before she disappeared. A line in one. Of her old notes, Maya had read from the laptop folder, "If they touch me again, I'm going to the attic. The one no one checks anymore. The forgotten room." The next day, Maya skipped her afternoon classes. She headed to the far end of the school, the old art wing that was shut down after a fire years ago. The door was padlocked, but she climbed through. The broken supply closet window, dust coated everything, burn marks on the floor, faint paint stains still on the walls. She searched, flashlight in hand, until she saw it. A narrow ladder leading to the crawl-space attic above the wing. She climbed slowly and found it, a dusty locked box. Inside, an old phone, a tiny flash drive, a spiral notebook. On the first page, Tamira's handwriting, "If you found this, you're already in danger." Maya sat down, breath caught in her chest, and started reading. Tamira's truth. "They caught me in the bathroom." Shayla laughed while Charles closed the door. He said if I screamed, he'd say I attacked him. They recorded it. I think Shayla did it herself, said she had to prove she was in control. "I've hidden copies in case they try to erase me. If they do, make it loud. Don't let them bury me." Maya sobbed, clutching the notebook to her chest. Tamira hadn't run. She had been hunted, and now Maya had proof. Real, hard, undeniable. A proof, backstabber when she returned to Lena's house, ready to share everything. Something was wrong. Lena was distant, cold. "You've been quiet," Maya said. "I just think we're going too far," Lena said flatly. "We're ruining lives, based on stories." Maya froze. "You believed Tamira. You saw the video." Lena looked away. "It's not evidence. It's just gossip. Maybe we were wrong about Shayla." Maya's heart sank. "Who talked to you?" Lena didn't answer. "Lena," Maya said, voice trembling. "Did Shayla offer you something?" Lena flinched. Maya turned and ran. She didn't need confirmation. The betrayal was loud enough in Lena's silence. Face to face, Maya confronted Shayla after school. The hallway was empty. The late bell had rung. Just the two of them. "You got to Lena," Maya said. Shayla smirked. "People talk, especially when you make them believe they're in control." Maya stepped closer. "Tamira had a backup. She told her truth." "And who's going to believe it?" Shayla hissed. "Me, the class valedictorian, the DA's daughter, or some dead nobody and her psycho friend?" Maya's fist clenched, but she didn't swing. Instead, she whispered, "You just made your last mistake," then walked away. The drop that night. Maya uploaded everything. Tamira's diary, the phone footage. The flash drive had 2 videos Shayla didn't know Tamira had hidden. One from the attic, one from the night of the party where Charles clearly said, "No one's going to believe her, Shayla. She's just another throwaway." That clip spread like wildfire. Every news outlet picked it up, and someone finally called the police. Not Charles's department, state investigators. The knock at the ear. Maya stood by her window at 2:03 a.m. this time, when headlights appeared. It wasn't the black SUV. It was a white van with Child Welfare Unit printed on the side. And the officer who stepped out, not Charles, but a woman, serious, calm, focused. She walked up to the door. Maya's hands trembled as she opened it. "Are you Maya Morgan?" the woman asked. "Yes. You're not safe here," the officer said. "Why?" Maya asked. The woman pulled out a file. "Because your friend Devon just turned up, and he's barely breathing." What Devon remembered: broken boy, broken silence. Devon's hospital room was dim and quiet, except for the steady beeping of the heart monitor. Maya stood frozen at the doorway, unable to speak. His face was bruised, one eye swollen shut. Dried blood still crusted around his hairline. Wires trailed from his arms, and his chest rose slowly beneath a thin hospital blanket. Lena stood beside the bed, pale and shaking. "They dumped him in an alley," she whispered. "A janitor found him this morning behind the old post office." Maya stepped closer, her voice barely audible. "Did he say anything?" Lena shook her head. "They drugged him, maybe worse." Then she added, as if choking on guilt, "This is my fault." Her friend's regret. Maya didn't respond. Lena sat in the corner chair, head in her hands. "I didn't betray you because I hated you," she said. "I did it because I was scared." Maya crossed her arms. "Shayla offered me a scholarship. Said if I stayed quiet and gave her access to the files, she'd put in a word with Columbia. I thought it was a lifeline. Instead, you handed her a weapon," Maya whispered. Lena nodded slowly. "I thought she just wanted to protect herself. I didn't know she'd go after Devon. I didn't know they'd hurt him." Maya turned to Devon. "She doesn't just want to protect herself. She wants to erase anyone who knows what she did." Devon wakes at 3:12 a.m. Devon stirred, his good eye fluttered open. "Maya?" he croaked. She was at his side in a heartbeat. "I'm here. You're safe." His lips trembled. "Don't let them find me." "They won't," she promised. "Tell me what happened." Devon swallowed hard. "They grabbed me outside my house, 2 guys, masks. One had a police badge on his belt." Maya froze. "Charles, they beat me," Devon continued, each word labored. "Took my phone, my hard drive. Said if I posted anything else, I'd be next." Then he looked at her, eyes wide with pain. "Tamira, I saw her. I swear, I saw." Maya's blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" "She was in the van, duct tape over her mouth, crying. They still have her." The search begins. The next morning, Maya and Lena met with Officer Reyes, the only state investigator who had contacted Maya after the Tamira files were released. Reyes was calm, sharp-eyed, and had already placed Charles under suspension pending inquiry. "If Devon saw her alive," she said, "we're no longer just dealing with abuse or corruption. This could become a trafficking case." Lena gasped. "No, we need to locate where Charles or Shayla might keep someone hidden," Reyes continued. "Any isolated property, abandoned buildings, family connections, anything." Maya pulled out Tamira's notebook. She flipped to the back page. There, scrawled in shaky handwriting, "If they move me, they'll take me to the cabins." She said no one goes there in winter. The frozen forest. 2 hours later, Reyes, Lena and Maya drove through a snowy forest 45 miles outside town. The woods were quiet, empty, and there it was, an old ranger cabin, half collapsed, nearly hidden by pine trees and snow. Reyes drew her weapon. Maya stayed behind, heart pounding. She watched from the car as Reyes crept up the porch and kicked in the door. A minute passed. Then a shout. "Clear! I found something." Maya sprinted. Inside the cabin, Reyes stood by a mattress. On it, rope, duct tape, and a phone with cracked glass. Maya picked it up. The screen lit up, a single video time-stamped 3 days ago. She pressed play. Tamira's voice shaking. "They're saying no one's looking for me, but I know Maya is. Please, please don't give up." Viral and vicious. That night, Maya uploaded Tamira's video to every platform she could find. It hit 1 million views in 9 hours. News stations picked it up. "Where is Tamira?" trended globally. People protested outside the school gates. Local news vans camped on the lawn. Parents demanded resignations. Shayla hadn't been seen for 2 days. Her house was barricaded behind police tape. Her mother, suspended. Her uncle, arrested. But Tamira still hadn't been found. And Maya knew. If they waited too long, they might never see her again. The unexpected ally. 2 days later, Maya received a message from a burner email. "Meet me at the old community pool. 6 p.m. Come alone." It was risky, but the subject line made her heart stop. "I know where Tamira is." Against Reyes's advice, she went alone. The pool had been shut down for years. The locker room was cold and reeking of mold. And inside, sitting on a rusted bench, was a face Maya never expected to see again. Principal Warner. The hidden truth. Maya stepped back. You're part of this?" Warner looked tired, hollow. "No," he said. "I was trying to stop it. But I was outnumbered. The district threatened to fire me. Shayla's mom owns half this town. You think I could take them on?" "Where's Tamira?" Maya asked. "I helped her escape," Warner said. "After the first assault, I snuck her out of town. But she came back, said she wanted to expose everything. Then Charles caught her." "Where is she now?" Maya demanded. Warner handed her a key. "Storage unit, number 214, Old Quarry Road. She's safe, but not for long." The rescue Maya didn't wait. She called Reyes from the parking lot. By the time they reached the storage facility, night had fallen. They unlocked Unit 214. Tamira was there, curled in a sleeping bag, weak but alive. Tears spilled down Maya's cheeks as she wrapped her arms around her. "You're safe now," Maya whispered. "I'm not letting go," Tamira sobbed into her shoulder. "I didn't think anyone would come." "I never stopped looking," Maya said. Fall of Shayla within hours, everything changed. Shayla's arrest was live-streamed. Her mother was indicted for obstruction of justice, Charles for kidnapping, conspiracy, and multiple counts of assault, and Shayla for unlawful filming, blackmail, and accessory to kidnapping. Maya watched the news in stunned silence. Shayla was crying. For once, she looked helpless. Lena's apology. The next day, Lena stood outside Maya's house with a letter in her hand. "I'm sorry," she said, "for everything. I almost sold you out. I betrayed Tamira. I let fear control me." Maya took the letter but didn't say anything. "I'm leaving town," Lena continued. "I'm going to New York, start over, maybe study journalism. Truth matters now." Maya nodded. Lena reached out for a hug. Maya hesitated, then pulled her in. "Be better," she whispered. "For Tamira." "I will," Lena promised. One more surprise days later, as Maya walked Tamira home from her therapy session, Tamira stopped. "Can I show you something?" She handed Maya an envelope. Inside, a photo of Shayla, hugging someone Maya didn't recognize. "That's not just her." "Cousin," Tamira said. "That's the guy who gave her the pills that night. He wasn't arrested." Maya's eyes narrowed. A new name. A new thread. "I thought it was over," Maya said quietly. Tamira shook her head. "This story isn't done yet." The final flip for. Weeks later, Tamira stood on the rooftop of Maya's apartment, breathing in the clean morning air. Her scars hadn't vanished. The nightmares still woke her sometimes. But she was alive and healing. Maya joined her with 2 mugs of tea. "We survived it," she said quietly. Tamira nodded. "Almost." They both knew what still hung in the air. The photo. The man beside Shayla in that photo wasn't just some lowlife. His face matched a name Officer Reyes had whispered during their last meeting, Dr. Victor Nash. And that name led to something darker, something bigger. The hidden hand Victor Nash wasn't just a drug supplier. He was a former school board member, resigned after a quiet scandal years ago. Rumors circled him. Illegal experimentation programs, under-the-table pharmaceutical trials, connections to private correctional facilities, but nothing had ever stuck. Now, Maya had the photo, and Reyes had confirmed his name appeared in the visitor logs to Shayla's school more than a dozen times in the last year. Tamira believed he was behind everything. He gave Shayla the pills, she said. He paid Charles, probably covered up the surveillance system too. Maya clenched. Her jaw, which means all of it. My assault, Devon's beating, your kidnapping, it all leads back to him. Back into the fire? They couldn't take it to the police, not yet. Victor had deep pockets and legal shields. Going straight at him would get them buried in lawsuits or worse. So Maya made a choice. They would expose him the same way they'd brought down Shayla, with truth that couldn't be erased. Together with Tamira and Devon, Maya launched an anonymous blog, No One's Watching. It detailed every step of the abuse. Names, dates, photos, hidden footage Tamira had saved on a flash drive, and most importantly, the link to Victor Nash's money trail. The post went, live at 2:37 a.m. on a Wednesday. By 8 a.m., it had 4 million views. By 10 a.m., Victor Nash was trending on every major platform. By 3 p.m., he vanished. The vanishing man. The next few days were a whirlwind. Lawyers swarmed the city. News stations dug up Nash's history. Survivors from other schools came forward. Girls who said they too had been drugged, silenced or expelled for making trouble. Maya watched it all unfold with a strange calm. She'd spent so long fighting to be heard. Now the whole world was listening, but something still felt unfinished. Because while Nash had vanished, he hadn't been arrested. Reyes confirmed it. We're working on it, but he's slippery. Offshore accounts, multiple IDs. He's hiding in plain sight. Tamira said what they all feared. If he disappears for good, he'll just rebuild. Somewhere else with new girls. Maya stared out the window, then whispered, not if we find him first. The final move. The tip came from Lena, of all people. She messaged Maya late one night. He's in Montauk, checked into a private rehab clinic under the name Vincent Dale. I saw the reservation, thought you'd want to know. Maya didn't. Ask how Lena had access to that. She only asked one thing. Are you sure? Lena replied, as sure as I am that I'll never forgive myself if you don't stop him. The next morning, Maya and Tamira boarded a train to Montauk. They didn't tell Reyes, they didn't bring backup. They only brought the flash drive, with all the evidence Nash thought he'd destroyed. The confrontation. The clinic was sleek, secluded, and private enough for billionaires to disappear. Maya posed as a reporter. Tamira posed as her intern. They told the receptionist they were doing a feature on elite rehab fraud. Maya flashed her old school ID and dropped Nash's fake name casually into the sentence. Within minutes, they were led, by mistake, to his room. He was sitting in a robe by the window, sipping tea. He looked up, saw them, and smiled. Ah, he said, the heroes. Truth versus power. You're not even hiding, Maya asked, voice shaking. Nash chuckled. Why would I? You don't matter anymore. You've had your moment. You'll burn out like every other headline. Tamira stepped forward. You're done. Everyone knows now. Knows what, he said calmly. That I visited a school. That a few hormonal teens made wild claims. I'll sue every platform that hosted your story. Settle out of court, and in 5 years you'll be forgotten. Maya reached into her coat pocket. She pulled out the flash drive. This isn't online, she said. Not yet. This goes straight to the Department of Justice, the New York Times, and your last investor, unless you confess. Nash laughed again. I'll never confess. I think you just did, Maya whispered. She tapped her phone, recording on the fall-by. The time they left the clinic, a copy of the recording had already been uploaded. Within an hour, the FBI issued a statement. 2 days later, Victor Nash was arrested at JFK, attempting to flee using a fake passport. The charges included human trafficking, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and unlawful experimentation on minors. The story was global. Every survivor's voice echoed across timelines. No one's watching, do we believe, Maya? Justice for Tamira, and one headline stood above all. Survivor-led investigation brings down billionaire. Predator piece. Finally, months passed. The school was renamed. Maya was offered interviews, book deals, even a documentary. She turned most of it down. Fame wasn't the point. She visited Tamira weekly, sometimes just to sit and breathe together in silence. Devon walked again. He joined a podcast to speak about recovery. Lena got a job, fact-checking at a real newspaper. She mailed Maya a thank you note and a photograph. The three of them, Maya, Tamira, Devon, standing in front of the courthouse, smiling. Whole. The last letter one spring afternoon, Maya returned home to find a letter on her doorstep, no stamp. No return address. Inside was a single sentence typed, "You didn't just flip them, you flipped the whole damn system." No signature. Just one more reminder that what they'd done had ripples. Not just justice, change. Final words, a powerful lesson. Maya sat on her rooftop again, watching the city shimmer. Beside her was Tamira, sipping tea. Devon leaned against the railing, phone in hand, already drafting their next blog post. She thought of everything they'd lost, everything they'd taken back, and everything they still stood for. Then she smiled. "Sometimes," she said softly, "you have to be broken to break everything that was wrong." Tamira nodded. "And sometimes the only way out is to flip the whole damn story." They clinked their mugs together, and for the first time in a long time. It was quiet, but not empty, not this time. The end